Yo, Coldfire here, bringing the latest Crossout news. And yesterday we had another round of test server. Test server is still running through this weekend, so make sure to check it out in case you're curious about it. I did a live stream yesterday to showcase all the changes, and man, it was a blast. You guys are so amazing, thank you so much for being around, the chat was super active. And I also had a really big donation from Dr. Max Emil. Thank you so much again, man. Alright, so no more overdue and let's get started. So what did they change on this testing round? First of all, cannons. Let's talk about the executioner and the prosecutor. They kind of rolled back the intended change of bringing them to 6 energy, and so they remain at 5 energy. However, this came with a price, a very expensive price, that they reduced the damage output for the executioner from 199 damage to 147 total damage. The split between ballistic and shrapnel damage. Oh, and by the way, I learned that you say shrapnel and not sharpnel, so don't be shy to correct me on the comments. I mean, you don't need to be a little annoying freaking guy, but just be gentle and point out when I say something wrong, because you know I'm not a native speaker, so I'm doing my best here. So either way, the division between ballistic and shrapnel damage is still the same, being 40% to shrapnel and 60% to ballistic damage. So you may be happy, yes, finally I could still be able to use my triple executioner build, but no man, that's just bad. I mean, I know a lot of people complain about the nerf they introduced, which is adding 1 point of energy, but this damage reduction is just so crazy, because back on the previous nerf, let's say from the last test server from the last week, with 12 energy you could use 2 executioners and do 398 points of damage. Now with 3 executioners we'll only do 441 points of damage, but using 15 points of energy. So if you normalize this, you were doing before, like with the previous nerf, 33.2 points of damage per energy, and now you are doing 29.4 points of damage per energy. So in flat numbers, the damage reduction is 26% per cannon, and the weighted reduction, if you consider energy consumption, is 11%. So that is still a big nerf. I personally prefer 6 energy cannons much better than 5 energy, because if you use 2 of 6 energy, you still have 3 to 4 points of energy to use for hardware, like say engine, cloak, radar detector, verifiers, whatever. And with 15 energy weapons like crickets, now back again the executioners and so many others like fortunes, you just don't have any space left for modules. Like you barely can put a cloak and call it a day. Maybe an engine and don't use cloak, or if you go for a heavy cabin you cannot use anything whatsoever. So I personally think this is an even worse nerf. So before you getting happy that energy nerf was rolled back, just think twice. Very similar thing was happened to the prosecutor. However, the damage nerf was significantly less. It was only 10% reduction, so from 135 damage it went to 121. So the flat reduction is, as I say, 10%. However, the weight reduction, if you divide the damage per energy, it actually increased by 7%. So you can see it both ways. You can see this as a nerf or a buff. For the BC-17 Tsunami cruise cannon, the perk was tweaked a little bit. So instead of having 4 charges, now it would have 6 charges. It's still inferior than it used to be on the live server, because it used to give you 20% damage per 10 seconds, I think. I'm not sure, 5 seconds, 8 seconds, I don't remember exactly, but it will be shown on your screen there. So instead of that, now you have 5% boost of damage every 2 seconds. I prefer this perk other than the old one, simply because it's more usable. It's much easier to stand still for 2 seconds than the current time. On overall damage, this means that a single fully charged Tsunami cannon without co-driver, without any specific cabin, will do 266 points of damage against 240 for the Typhoon. And if you use this on an Icebox with Stone Death Co-Driver, fully charged single Tsunami will do 311 points of damage. So that is still really high. And if you pair this with the change of explosion mechanics, this can easily burst multiple blocks of armor. So that's a very solid choice for even for Clone Wars. Maybe this could even replace the Typhoon if you use on spiders. I don't know, that's something that we'll see on the following weeks. For the CC-18 Typhoon Cruise Cannon, when yesterday actually the day before yesterday, they said that they're gonna revisit the Typhoon perk, I was just, oh my god, please don't get cold feet and keep removing this goddamn stun lock, because that is so OP. And they're keeping their promises. The Typhoon perk, it will still no longer stun lock targets, but from the last test server to the current test server, they just added the penalty, like the cooldown restriction to hit-based weapons. So it will not only make reload slower, it will also make weapons that use heat to cool down slower. If you ask me, this is a complete joke, because come on, first of all, no one uses machine guns or shotguns. Pretty much no one uses them at Typhoon level, let's say high power score Clone Wars, because they are pretty much not viable anymore regardless. So just for that, that's almost useless anyway. Firebugs, okay, but if you overheated your firebug and you still haven't killed your target, you are probably dead anyway. The same goes for most shotguns. So, okay, I don't see the point of this change at all. It's probably just for people that are complaining, oh no, my Typhoon perk will only affect like 50% of the weapons on the game and the other 50 will be useless. Alright, welcome to the world of relics. That's what I'm saying in all videos and all live streams. If you look at the relics, none of them have perks, pretty much. Because Firebug doesn't have a perk, Porcupine doesn't have a perk, Breaker have a useless perk, Punisher, it's even more useless. The only actual relic that have like a true perk is the Scorpion, and that's it. So, as I said on my live stream, because this is just like a rough cut on my live stream, I just like getting the best ideas and putting in a shorter video. As I said before, if you're gonna complain on the forums about the Typhoon nerf, just don't use the perk argument, please, because no other relics has perks. So just don't go say, oh, you took off my precious perk, because, come on. Find something better to complain about it, other than the perk. Either way, let's keep going. They also stated that all other canon changes remain the same, so everything you saw last week is still valid other than those 4 weapons. Also, we had some balances on the blockchain, which is the AKA plasma cutter. It had the spread reduction by 33% when motion and stationary by 25%. I don't think this was a problem at all. And they increased the damage by 10%. It's not a lot, but it might make it a little bit viable. You may say that it's still crap, but bear with me because we have one more change here coming, which is on the triggers, the laser drills, aka. So they got like a massive nerf. They are almost useless as they are on the test server right now. First of all, they got reload time increased from 2 seconds to 3 seconds, so this can be like almost a flat 50% nerf on DPS, but I know there's the firing animation and the firing time, so let's settle at like, I don't know, 30 something. That's a lot of damage reduction. I've never seen a nerf like that in any weapon before, I think. I don't remember at least. So either way, that's not all. They also reduced the maximum firing range from 150 meters to 80 meters. So now it not only fires much lower, and it also fires much closer. So it's kind of like the same range of a Nidhogg or of a Junk Bow or whatever. So that makes the weapon almost useless, because 150 meters was already too short for most combats, and now 80 meters. That's crazy. I think a better balance would be to reduce the HP of the weapon, maybe. Like make it very aggressive, like super high damage, but glass cannon style. Something like that I think would be better. I don't know. Let's move on. Grenadier, finally. We finally are seeing Grenadier nerfs, but wait a second. This is not even close enough to be like to make them not OP. The spread was increased by 33%, which means they will miss more shots. However, keep in mind that they will be targeting your cabin. And if they miss your cabin, they are very likely to hit two very important parts of your build. One, if they miss a little bit lower, they will hit your generator below your build. And two, if they hit a little bit higher, they will probably hit your weapons. So no, we don't need this change. Come on, do something better, would you? I know you don't want to kill your like golden egg chicken or something, but you can do better. They also reduce projectile blast radius by 20%, but that's a tiny grenade that explodes almost nothing anyway, so I don't think blast radius reduction matters at all. I mean, it's just like a GL impulse, it doesn't have any blast radius whatsoever. And they also reduce the drone durability by 17%, that I think is a step in the right direction, but it's still not near enough. I don't think you can kill one of them by like shooting with a cannon. So 17%, come on, maybe cut the HP to half or something. Do something better, Gaijin, please. Now to the Annihilator Drones, which are also super controversial. A lot of people hate them. They again nerfed them, but at the same time didn't nerf them, because what they did, now the new drone changed its position during the attack once every 2 seconds. You may be wondering what that even means. What? I don't have no idea. I didn't know they do that. So if you pay attention to the drone itself, it will fly overhead the target at a specific position, and then after 1.5 seconds it will reposition to a different like place. So they just increase this every 2 seconds, which mean in theory should be easier to kill them with cannons, but still I believe it's not viable because their hitbox are so small. They are hard to spot, they are hard to hit. That doesn't fix anything. I think they need to increase drastically the hitbox, maybe double or triple the hitbox, so you can at least try to kill them. And they also reduce the damage by 8%. First of all, the damage on Annihilators are not good anyway. It takes like a full charge of Annihilator, like, I don't know, 20 seconds or more to kill a single target. So the damage is not great. Reducing it by 8% will not do anything. The main thing about Annihilators is that they slow down the target and they are very, very hard to kill. So reducing the damage doesn't help. My fix would be, if I could choose this, first of all, I will reduce the deployments to 4, so that will force the user to use Genesis, which makes them like more vulnerable to explosions. That's the first thing. Second thing, I'll double or triple the hitbox and reduce the HP a little bit. That's my idea of balance for those drones, but I don't know, I think they have something different in mind, because battle pass are probably still being sold, so until they are no longer viable, I don't think they're gonna nerf Annihilators, so I guess we just kinda have to stick with them for a few more months, but we'll see. And of course, as always, test servers had some hidden stuff within, so they changed the Helios, how they work. They announced this on Twitter at some weeks ago, but it's finally on the test server. So the whole Helios family with Prometheus and the other one, now they work at auto fire. You can see how OP they are. Just like I was predicting, this didn't come with a single nerf on damage. So they are now auto fire with the same damage. Call me broken, right? That's gonna be so freaking OP. Leave in the comments what you think about this. I still think they should have maybe rate of fire nerf or something. I don't know. For April's full items, we have some sneak peeks or some hidden Easter eggs here that they kind of forgot to remove from the catalog. After a while, they removed it, so they really don't want us seeing this for some reason. So here we have this kind of a spike that has a different name and a porcupine. They're both labeled as April Fool. They have exactly the same stats, but they don't have any descriptions. So maybe porcupine with a green flame, I don't know. However, this could mean that the teaser they did on drones like a few days ago, I also have a video for it. Just go check it out. It's linked on the video description. That means that drone shenanigans they placed there could maybe not be related to April's Fool whatsoever. I don't see how this spike and this porcupine can be related to those drones they were showcasing on Twitter or on Instagram. I don't see any relationship whatsoever. So I'm starting to get worried that maybe my option number 3 that they will be for April's Fool was wrong after all. Maybe we'll have customizable drones? Man, that could be something. Either way, if you haven't watched that video, go there and check it out. It's a really nice video. It's short, it's like 6 minutes or so go check it out for sure. We also still have this hover bug. Let's call it a bug for now. I really don't understand why and how this is on the test server. Go check my live stream. I think I spent I don't know, 20 minutes talking about this bug. So go check my live stream if you're more interested on this hover change, aka bug, whatever. I leave the link for my live stream on the video description. It's on the first 30 minutes or so go check it out. And finally, we have this strange decor that I personally didn't see it on my live stream when I was on the test server. However, my good friend Knifers, which by the way is the guy who made Crossout Grindmaster, the spreadsheet, the legendary spreadsheet for grinding. So he pointed me, he sent to me these images. One of them, they're both decor of rarity, blue rarity. And the first one, it's labeled car part drone toy name, which made me wonder, this could be like a drone decor. I went super wild and crazy. Could this like be an actually flying drone that flies overhead, but it's a fake one? That would be something. It's like, let's say you put like 20 of those and you have like 20 drones flying over your head. That would be so funny. I hope it's something like that and not like just an static decor. I would really love to see like a mobile and a flying decor. That'll be something really unique. They also placed this on the server, which is called car part ? Name. So that's probably something related to April's Fool or some shenanigans they're doing. Like, I don't know. I'll leave you guys to discuss all these things on the comment section below. But that'll be all for this video on the brand new test server we had yesterday. If you want to see more in-depth things that I didn't cover on this video, make sure to watch my live stream. It's linked on the video description. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch for daily live streams. I mean, almost daily. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and I see you next time.